SG Reads.
Hello fellow travelers, my name's SG and welcome to the channel. Today I want to go over a comic that I found recently while I was at a convention called The Unthinkables. Created by Laguna Studios. I really found it interesting, really liked the characters, the designs and everything about it, and really wanted to talk about it in an in-depth situation. Now, be reminded that this is just book 1. There are like 2 other books in the series, but I am just going to cover this one. And maybe as we go along later on, I will cover the rest of the series as it goes. Thanks again for tuning in. Please leave a like, comment, subscribe down below. I'd really appreciate it. And let's get started, shall we? The Unthinkables, story and lead character designer Paul Hanley, pencils additional inks and designer Ian Richardson, inks Julian Hugard-Burt, colors Simon Go, letters Thomas Moore, cover Martin Simmons, additional letters Matt Krovitzer, additional colors Kate Colors, and editor Lori Foster. These are the main people that have created and designed the book. Please do support them in their future endeavors, and if they come back for more of this main series, please do support it. Now, with that being said, let's get into the main story, shall we? Now, the first group we meet, other than the Invincibles and Citizen One himself, is the more important one, which is First Intelligence Service Task Force, which is known as FIST. This acts more of like a SHIELD-like character that has assembled this team before in the past, and is the one charging pretty much the main assembly of this newer one as we go, using the help of some less than reputable people. In fact, seeming that they're relying more on the underground in a sense than that. But the first true member of this group, the Unthinkables, is Naughty Blinkins, who seems to be a bit of an invincible man, or at least an escape artist in a way, that allows him to escape from danger at any moment when he suddenly manages to dodge all the bullet fire of the UN. We then meet White Devil, who seems to be the magician of the group, and manages to escape using a bird-like suit along the way. We then meet Riot Girl, who seems to be the brawler of this group, fighting in a bar and pretty much winning in every sense, until they knock her out, with her psionic shielding seems to be one of her main abilities as well. We do get small glimpses of other characters like Fallout, who seems to be more of a nuclear man, and the Antifreeze, which seems to be our fire character. And then we go on to our next set like Devilfish, but another character that seems to be one of the main ones, other than Riot Girl, White Devil, seems to be Maria, which, given the context, it seems like she herself is an immortal, who has lived for at least 65 years, but even then that might have been when she was already in her 20s, so we don't really know the full spectrum of how old she is along the way, but we do know that she is in Russia and is waiting for further orders along with this team. We don't know if she's willing to go along with it willingly, but she seems to at least want to take part in it. As for now, we know that their name is the Unthinkables because they are pretty much the last ones in line to be heroes, and no one really assumed that they would be at the end of the day. All in all, I do really enjoy these characters. They do have interesting designs, I do like the coloring, and they do give a different perspective on the idea of anti-hero and hero along the way. And you can tell right away that none of these characters consider themselves hero in any sense of the word. In fact, you can tell that they're pretty much just pulled into this out of either being criminals or just being morally ambiguous. Now, the first thing I will say is I do love the art of this book. It's very beautifully done. Right from the character designs all the way down to the penciling and ink. I do think that their color design is very interesting. It's very pops, I guess you could say. That allows it this kind of 90s cartoon-esque vibe. Like what you would see in DC Comics back in like the 90s to early 2000s. Which is something I really do miss when we think about like those kind of comics. We have a very colorful array of characters that allow themselves different, unique, and personalities really do show through their costumes. Like the one costume we have seen is, of course, White Devil along with Antifreeze. And it does show the contrast in this darker reality that we have, that they're still costume vigilantes, or villains in a way, and it still kind of shows off the personalities and allows it to grow. So I really do love the character and coloring of the book so far, and I hope it continues on with stuff like that. Now, an interesting detail I wanted to talk about was the design of these characters. Like, when you look at them and you read the book, you could tell which ones were picked by Fist, while at the same time which ones were chosen by their shadowy partner. You could tell that the ones that seem more colorful, more vibrant, and the ones that seem a little more likely to become on the hero side are chosen by Fist. They're chosen carefully and strategically, while the shadowy partner seems to have chosen these more darker versions of these criminals, seem to chose more realistic looking villains in a way. Ones that seem somewhat unhinged. You can tell that a lot of these characters on the cover and in the mainstay aren't shown in the book just yet, but they will come out later. I'm assuming that the ones we see in this book are the ones chosen by Fist overall, and the ones that are chosen by the shadowy partner will come in later on as being more unhinged than these ones. And from what we gathered, that's going to be a very volatile group overall. And I do kind of like that aspect. Which ones are going to break, which one's going to go along with it, and which ones will stay the same overall. So for the most part, I do like that the designs and the way they're presented does kind of predict, while at the same time hint at what's going on in the main story and what this team will be like at the end of the day. There are so many inspirations I could tell were taken to make this series specifically, such as the main one being the Suicide Squad one, and because, again, it's the idea of assembling a team that aren't really heroes, but more of just needed at this time. That is very Suicide Squad-esque, but the main Invincibles team themselves seem to be based on a mix of Justice League and the Avengers, while Fist is based on S.H.I.E.L.D., along with the idea of taking more of a darker take on it, and even our main shadowy partner seems to be more related to the, I feel very much like Marvel Zombies vibe. He gives off that kind of characteristics and traits. But while I do relate to all that, this is its own storyline. I can feel that those are mere just inspirations to help develop into what we kind of know. This is taking it and just going off on its own thing, which I respect and which I really do enjoy, amongst other things about this series and story. All in all, this is a very good series. I do like the overall tone they're going with. The art's amazing. The storyline's fun. I do like the world that we're in most of all. Just looking at the character designs for even the heroes that have, long since gone at this point, it does leave me questioning, what's this world like? What's it about? What's going on, So for the most part, I do enjoy the story, the characters, the art, and of course, the background. I do think there's a lot that can be taken out. There's a lot that can be looked at, and it is very interesting, and I do hope it continues. I do want to see more along the way. I do know that book 2 and 3 are out for a fact. You can see them on their website. If you're interested in checking out this series, I'll leave a link to the main website down in the direct description and in the comment section. So please, go check it out. Do support the original creators, the original studio, the original publisher, of course. And give them some love when you can, yeah? Thanks again for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please leave a like, comment, subscribe down below. I'd really appreciate it. You're really helping me out. And yeah, I'll be back with another one next time. See you guys next time.